Hello and good morning, my dear Taurus. Welcome to my channel. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I welcome you. Would like to open up for you. This is for the energies of Taurus in the month of July 2020. I will be eventually going into a 9-card spread with clarifiers for the Great Mirror, the energy of you, someone else, and the mirror between. Those are apparent perceptions, reflections, refractions of certain things that may be within your situation, cycles, modes of karma, programming. But firstly, I would like to build for you a bridge. This is a mode of action that you may be encountering in the month of July. Okay. 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 So there is an apparent cycle of victory here that you are trying to find propriety in, a sense that you are doing the right thing and righteousness comes here, pageantry comes here, as well as the ability to feel like you have earned what you have justly earned. The ethics, however, on the mode in which you um, are being are being shown to others, how you are being perceived by others, comes into effect. Remember that these perceptions are merely projections, and they are passing impressions. They are not what you could deem as reality. Reality is much, much more complex or much, much more simple, one or the other. The crux is that you have to figure out what is the most graceful and probable or exacting method that you can do in order to execute things with fairness, okay? But your heart is somewhere in between right now, and it seems like you are motivated by your choice, whatever this choice is. It's a very strong one that has to do with either regretting or not something, okay? So there's a great deal of burden when it comes to the heart, as well as the expectations of certain things that come around your spiritual quest, okay? Your ability to be totally content, in perfect contentment with the emotional options around you. These are many, and these are very, very good. The thing is that you have to focus on the good here, okay? The choice is strong though, and it's a choice that is being reckoned when it comes to your heart, where it leads, or your mind, where it leads. But your mind is very much in conflict with emotional impulses, and you seem to be at an impasse or something. There's a crossroads to choose whether to regret something or to choose whether to expect something when it comes to measuring how you feel like you are being fulfilled. And then the other where you totally detach but then become very full because of such detachment, okay? But the apparent sort of way you're coming off is very important to you. Could be that you have Libra placement. Right. So that is the bridge. This is the Great Mirror, and essentially it is a 9-card spread. I'll be adding another layer for clarification. So this is collective energy here. So, a small lineage, let's see. There is the sense that you are coming to a point of a bridge, and as you cross this bridge, there's something that you're pointing to. The actual integrity of the destination is being called in a form of reckoning, and it's important for you to realize that there are certain structures that are passing, and there are also elements of darkness that are creeping into the path in which you walk towards structures that may be good for you, that point to a higher sense or a higher sense of being. Not only that, your mortality drive is kicking in when it comes to the small lineage. It has to do with the reptilian brain and trying to find rest or solace in the darkness of the mind. There is a point here, excuse me, excuse me, that has to do with essentially coming to um, a critical point in which you can find and understand the motivations of what you have done or what this person has done or the object of your affection has done. A mode in which the thoughts or the actions that were said or unsaid but thought about were a point of restlessness, okay? Um, there's a strong indication here that transformation is occurring in the silence of the mind, and as you open up to the mysteries of illumination, some form of enlightenment eclipses you, and you eventually come up with a clear discernment um, to let go of the past, yet still return to the emotions that are there. It's very interesting because you're letting go, but you're still invested in the cord, and that seems to be a part of your path. Okay, this is your energy here: conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious mind here. Okay, you're in a connection that that once defined your truth, or at least it has challenged your truth in such a way that you have essentially kind of turned a cold shoulder. There's a cold element and an exacting degree in which you live by your truth according to this connection. It symbolizes the end of something, something that once held a great deal of promise. You could be going through massive changes with this. There's a corrosive quality to what you thought held a great deal of potential for your ultimate sense of fulfillment. The corrosive quality is essentially rust that is that murks the water, that murkies the water, and essentially this murkiness it stiffens your resolve to move away from the connection. This is the father figure who, in his reason and logic, essentially becomes cold or departs in some sort of way from a family situation. Very interesting. But the figure of the father is very, very clear here, and there's something about imparted wisdom that is affecting the very deep unconscious level of this connection. Okay, on their end. Yeah, so there's this element of erosion or something about mm, shadow work or standing in the shadow of a mountain, okay, being blocked in one way because of things that need to transpire. Because of this, there's a great drudgery or a need to establish a type of strength, but it is difficult to find. Power is really power and sovereignty is really important. You're saying things, and the way you do things comes into question. And because of such, there is the element of the Five of Cups, which is a sense of regret or a sense of disparity. It's really difficult for you to find an emotional well-being here, at least for the time being, in this connection. On a soul level, they are, the foundation is clearly there on both ends here. So it's a strong connection, a long-lasting connection based on the Ten of Cups in the reverse, as well as the Four of Rods in the reverse. Okay, something about the structure of this was warped, and there was a type of imbalance that occurred, leading to you both questioning the structure of the modality of what is expected in certain situations of deep commitment. Okay, this is a very deep commitment here, but there's a challenging aspect to this person that makes them both glorious but also foolhardy. They burn for this connection as well. They burn for a connection in general that is a foundation for the springboard for deep spiritual union of sorts. Spiritual union is here, but there's a cold element to you that had to do with some sort of cutting element, as well as the restriction of talking about this connection properly. Okay, therefore, there's two major arcanas here. Okay, so like this is a very profound connection, but they are dealing with some profound, some very deep, intense purging. They're going through a lot of purgation. So what that means is that you guys are both challenged by releasing the toxic or shadow aspects of the inner self and meeting each other in that respect. But there's a very strong chemical draw towards this person's deep unconscious feeling. Both of you feel very, very inclined in a very physical way here. So this is clearly a love situation, one in which there are collusions and inclusions of very strong magnetic energies of chemistry. Okay. Now let's see. Yep, that's clear. That's clear. Now within the mirror. Oof. Okay, there's a sense of a type of injustice here. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, very clear. There, between you two, you have had to cut something out that was once very promising. They also simultaneously likewise, but they are the warrior spirit, and they have given you something, and likewise, there's something that resembles the object of promise, the object of union. And it's very clear here that it's a strong connection based on a promise. Okay, this promise was desire, was filled with desire as well as was filled with fire. So it came from this person. Okay, and that is what is manifested within the mirror. Essentially, on the soul level, there is like a bond that is based on fire. Okay. Now, on the subconscious level, they're coming off as the high priestess. She who knows much but does not say much. Because of this, it causes an imbalance, and there is a distinct subconscious desire for them to program in themselves the knowledge of all of this situation, yet not be able to say anything about it. Therefore, there is this deep knowing of the ideals of love, of the ideals of spiritual love even, but they represent a source of knowledge that cannot be accessed, okay? Because of such, there's no co-creation, and that's what they sort of want for some reason. Very strange. Subconsciously on your end, what you're trying to bring in is also a mirror. Your efforts are half as much, but they're based on the energy of love. Theirs is based on the energy of Saturn or Jupiter, which is essentially the great teacher. There's something about them that wants to teach a lesson to you for some reason, but it's through silence. It's through protection, through protecting their energy from you, yet still being a consultant of some sort. Okay. There's also a lot of ambition in what they do, and they are very power hungry about maintaining the essence of imbalance in the memories that come with the situation. Also, there's something about you that needs to also assert oneself, and the high priest comes here. So there's a very strong spiritual inclination on both ends. But the high priest in reverse resembles a form of power that disintegrates from the higher purpose. Okay, so there's something about you that wants to break the commitment, big time. Well, wait, no, it's not right. So on the incidental level, both the co-creation here. Oh, very interesting. So the paths of love want to eventually be woken up from one to another. This person is walking the path, but they are very protected, and they're very secretive about how they are orchestrating some sort of plan for both of you. They have ambition and drive in this, but there is a secret path that is manifesting, one that has to do with the need for propriety, the need for a grounded offer that leads to abundance, as well as leads to strengthening. This person is finding the inner strength to essentially walk the path towards something here, okay? The paths of love are now opening up again for some reason. Very interesting, but I think you're well on your way out, or at least no longer co-creating within this situation. However, on the conscious level, there is a suppressed need to live out some form of apology or romance with this person. This is your source of clarity. This is your sense of enlightenment. Your actual purpose is driven about the reconciliation of two variant opposites. Venus and Gemini come strong here, as well as Taurus, your own sign, as well as the Sun in Gemini, the Sun in Leo. There's something about this that has to do with the ability to make amends. There's a reconciliatory aspect in this. Consciously, on their end, there's something about the motivations that they have done that they are coming into being. And as you can see here, there's a clear, conscious, but then repressed need to begin anew by meeting each other halfway with the energy of rods and the energy of the cups, but it's being held back because someone is deeply rooted in their thoughts and their understanding now with a bit of clarity what happened. Okay. The advice is to create clear boundaries. If you do such, there is a possibility for a proper vehicle for emotional maturity to express itself through the essence of home bodies and through the essence of emotional bodies. These will move naturally if boundaries are created and there's a sense of fruition between both of you. So it's a very interesting love story. Remember that transformation is coming as well as purgation. There is a sense of weakness when it comes to this connection, but it's a weakness that is very chemical. It's a connection that's very chemical and based on the energy of drive and the reptilian brain, okay? Hopefully that helps, my dear Taurus. That was a very strong reading. Bye.